Oh, we're live. Oh, okay. I thought we were still figuring it out. Okay, well, welcome to another live stream as we go live on all the channels. Hello, hello. This is Attorney Clopper, the president of Intact Global, a leading nonprofit 501c3 committed to protecting every child equally under the law from the harms of infant genital cutting. Right? And what we're working to do at our nonprofit is to advance impact litigation to ensure that every child is equally protected under the law, right? As most state constitutions require. I say most because not every state requires, every state constitution prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex in its state laws, but the vast majority do. And by vast majority, I think we're talking about 40 to 41, right? So anyway, what we're doing in this stream, we got another 3, maybe 4, at least 3 tickets today, maybe upwards of 5. I mean, we are starting to sell tickets like hotcakes, which is great. And what we would like you to do, if this is an important cause to you, right? If you believe strongly that we should stop mutilating the sex organs of our children, if we need to protect every child equally from this obvious harm, then you need to be at Intact Global's second conference in our new headquarters, the debut of Intact Global's headquarters. And this is an organization that will change the world and the culture, and not just how we treat our children, but how our children treat the world as well. Because if your first experience is being strapped down and having important parts of your sex organs removed violently, well, that might harbor and create a little resentment. So anyway, what we're doing is we're putting a stop to that and making sure that every child is protected equally. Right? And our themes are more or less, we want to focus on the human rights of children. Who could not be for protecting every child, right? And this is an abject harm. So anyway, we've got some comments. We've got some comments in the chat, in multiple chats. Faith Womb Whisper, great to see you on Instagram. Tom Justin, Tennis and Horses, are you in I Uncut? Clearly not a veteran in the movement, right? Jay-Z Dunick and Hey Stevie G. Oh, and P. Benson, great to see you. Of course. Well, we're going to have some great graphics and arts coming out soon, thanks to many of our great supporters from the very beginning. Yes, so the purpose of this is to answer any questions. Make sure you all know about Intact Global's up and coming second conference in downtown Los Angeles, right? We sold out the first one in Portland, Oregon, sold all 72 tickets, right? And now we are looking to sell our first 100 tickets at the early bird price of $199, which covers 2 full days of events, including our initial Legacy Gala, which is going to be a blowout grand event in our headquarters Saturday evening, April 18th, right? And that is definitely not an event you want to miss. And that event is going to be geared towards more fun, dancing, music, skits, you name it. It's going to be kind of a performance as well. And that's a good opportunity to introduce other people to the movement who aren't already all in and protecting children from this type of violence. Neil from New York, great to see you. Jonas, Justin, PJ Corso, Muscle Man Steven, and Mark Brigham, all very happy to see you here. This is Attorney Clopper. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat. We got a lot of comments here from Not So Private Playlist, who said, I still don't understand to this day, how there's no damage mitigation and there's no rights and there's no help. I literally had to restore myself, spent over $1,000. So, well, that's what we're here for. Now, unfortunately, we're in this position where we know that circumcision is wrong. We know that it's harmful. We know that it violates human rights and bodily integrity and bodily autonomy and the right to sexual autonomy and equal protection under the law. But to push these issues in a competent, credible, and effective way requires an enormous amount of professional time, effort, and expense. And that's what we're doing in Oregon, right? With your donations and your help and your support, we've been able to pursue the equal rights litigation initiative in Oregon, and we're doing so successfully. At the same time, we would love to scale that litigation up to, I don't know, 5 states, 10 states, 40 states. I mean, let's start with 2. We have 1, and we're going to try to get 2 on the board shortly. And the more we raise, the more lawyers we can hire to actually push this ahead. And of course, everyone is more or less on a discounted rate, but it still takes a lot of effort and energy because we got to win these lawsuits. And although Oregon is looking good, this doesn't start with Oregon. Oh, it starts with Oregon, but it doesn't end with Oregon, right? We have a lot of other states that we need to pursue. Oh, Ocean Birth has joined us. Great to see you, Ocean Birth. Always love to have you around. And Not So Private says, and these people will get every excuse they can come up with to keep what amounts to PDF going under false pretenses. It's not even knowing that they changed it in the 2nd century AD. Oh, that's a reference to those veteran activists. Hello, Julianne, Deborah. Great to see you, Fries. King T-Fav. So that's a reference to when circumcision was made more extreme back in 200 AD. But anyway, this is probably maybe the 5th or 6th live stream. These are working. We're getting at least 1, sometimes 2, today 3 different tickets. You know, at this rate, we're going to have a full house. That's why we start promoting it in January. It's now February 3rd. Again, the tickets for Intact Global's 2nd conference are, the dates are April 18th to 19th, right? Yawn God, that is a very appropriate comment. I had a, sidetrack. Yawning is good because it oxygenates the brain, supposedly. Well, I think so. I've been yawning because I've been working every day since Thanksgiving, less a few days around Christmas. But yeah, the whole purpose here is to strategize and create these strategic connections, friendships, professional relationships, so we could connect individuals with the right people to move this mission forward at the right pace at the right time, right? Because sometimes it's that one person in New Hampshire who could find us the plaintiff or find us the right donor or find us the right media or the right journalists to cover our substantial efforts to ensure that the law protects every child equally. It's great that we protect female minors from genital cutting. That is a law that over 40 states in the United States have. But any male infant, anyone can take scalpels, razors to their genitals and start cutting off parts of the body with no medical training, because that's something that our species has done for thousands of years, is that we've cut up the sex organs of our children. And even though it flies in the face of all of our well understood principles, ethical principles, medical principles, legal principles, it violates all of the basic tenets of bodily autonomy, bodily integrity, form and function for biology, right? If we remove these protective mucosal tissues that are highly innervated, obviously you're going to have problems. So although this is an extreme outlier, I'm talking about circumcision, it still continues through inertial ignorance. And what we're also doing is we're educating the public. All the body parts you're born with, they're important and you want to keep them. And that is why circumcision is forced upon minors, because adults who grow up with their entire bodies and genitals intact, they don't go out and volunteer to amputate their foreskin or their eyelids or their fingers. Like, makes no sense, right? And so we are protecting choice and we are protecting the physical bodies of children. Right now, there's this huge scandal, and as it should be, that there's been an underground ring abusing children. At the same time, this is an overt practice in our medical field, that doctors have been violating and breaching their fiduciary duties to their patients, enriching themselves by performing medically unnecessary surgeries and amputations on children, right? And that is a huge problem. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to have a 2-day conference, Saturday and Sunday, April 18th to 19th in downtown Los Angeles. in Intact Global's new and epic headquarters. And we need you there if this is a movement that you are committed to and you want to see succeed, right? Because we're only going to prevail if we work together. And the faster and more effective we work together, the more children we could protect and the quicker we can stop the bleeding. And that is not just a metaphorical phrase, it is a very literal one when it comes to this movement. So let me show you how you buy tickets, just so you're aware. I'm going to just pull up the ticketing page and show you the link. It is intact.global.org. So let me post that on the screen here. Intact.global/conference will work too. Here we go. So if you go to this hyperlink, intact.global/conference, it's going to take you to this page that I'm sharing right now, which is this one. And here you can see, here we go. Here you could see, here is the dates, April 18th and 19th, right? We'll do a little debrief of where we are with the Oregon litigation. Maybe we'll have more litigation on the board by then. We'll see. A lot can change in 2.5 months, right? We're talking about 47 days, I believe. And then for those of you who would like and can make it, there is a optional event that Friday evening, April 17th, right? And so this is going to be a more intimate evening, smaller event in right off Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. It's a 5-course meal, phenomenal Italian restaurant in the Olive Room, Il Pastel. So anyway, so these are some pictures of the event. This is a picture of Intact Global's new headquarters, right, with some added lights there. And we are the top 2 floors. So we're the 4th and 5th floor of the entire building, right? I mean, we have massive space to grow into. We're very much looking forward to showing it off. So anyway, so Friday evening is the Founders Dinner. And then we have the Legacy Gala, which is Saturday evening, right, 6:30 p.m. onwards. And this is going to be an elegant evening, cocktail attire. We're going to honor some key members of the movement, right? It's also going to be a lot of dancing, maybe aerial dancers and showgirls. And, it's going to be quite the elaborate show, right? So it's going to be fun. It's going to be 3 hours. We're going to have champagne. It's going to be a good time. And it's a good way to introduce people to Intactivism who aren't already like 100% on board. Because the primary meat, so to speak, is the 2 days of the conference, general admission, which is all of Saturday, or from 10 to 4 p.m. or so, and then on Sunday it'll be about 10 to 3 p.m. And we'll have keynote speakers from leaders in the movement. We're going to have breakout sessions, and if these are some of the lined up speakers thus far. And here's the conference schedule that I was saying earlier, right? And then we have breakout sessions, which you'll be able to pick 2. One about anatomy. What are we talking about? How can you be an effective activist? Combating anti-Semitism. How do we make sure that our message is effective, right? We don't need to be derailed by allegations of we're here to protect children, right? That's the purpose. What are the similarities and differences between genital cutting of different sexes, right? Andy Mundy, you heard I got the moves. That's funny and absolutely 100% true. And then we've got something about, a session about talking with regret parents and also expectant parents, right? A session on kind of, how do you repurpose this injury to help others? A youth session. And so on and so forth. And one about policymakers as well, and one about reclaiming intimacy, because we're talking about the loss of sexual tissue, right? But anyway, if you're trying to get tickets, you could, any one of these buy tickets links will take you to our ticketing page, which is run through Ticket Tailor, right? This is the location, 833 South Spring Street, what I said earlier, right? And this is our entire building. We're the top 4th and 5th floors, right? And you can actually see These are massive windows in our skylight there in our big event hall. It's a really quite a beautiful and stunning space. Honestly, probably one of the coolest venues in downtown Los Angeles. And it was built in conjunction with the Orpheum Theater, and that's the big Orpheum Theater sign on the other side. Oh, I think that is the Orpheum. Yep, right. And so we share this parking lot and that parking lot with them. We also have another parking lot over there. We're essentially on Broadway, right, which is right here. And it's a stunning venue. American Idol used to film there. They just moved. So anyway, once you get to the ticketing page, you just go to Get Tickets and make sure that you get one for yourself. And if you have one for one other person, that's good. There's a $25 default donation, which, you could put to $0 or you could put to $200, whatever you want, right? And then you just go through the prompts, right? Name, email, you name it, and then you put in your payment. See, it takes about 2 minutes, and it's going to be 2 very memorable days. And if you see me and Jane Doe, and then if you have, let's say you're vegetarian or whatever, and then you just go through the payment process. We do PayPal, credit card, you name it, pay another way, whatever it is you want to do. And then you do pay, and you're good to go. Now, I've already bought my ticket, but I'm very excited to see many of you there. If you have any questions, let me know. So I will run through some comments here before we wrap up today. Rachel Suhu, great to see you as always. Insurance companies rarely even pay for needed procedures. Why are they covering this? Why can't they just deny the claims? So, well, that's a great question, Rachel. There are some insuring companies that don't pay for it, right? Like Britain, United Kingdom, they stopped paying for it in the 1940s because they discovered, or it was the general consensus in the medical community, that the foreskin was natural important tissue that's supposed to be there. And so in the 40s, their federally funded or government funded healthcare system stopped paying for it, and that's why the UK doesn't circumcise anymore. But more locally, about 17 out of 50 states don't provide circumcision coverage through Medicaid, right? State Medicaid coverage. So those states have way lower circumcision rates. Now, what I have heard, some compelling arguments, is that some private insurers pay for circumcision because if they didn't, then maybe parents will go to a different insurer who will pay to mutilate their child. And that, whether it's true or not, it's probably they have this false impression that it's good market-wise. So anyway, we would love to challenge health insurers and especially state Medicaid on the propriety and the legality of using public tax dollars on medically unnecessary procedures by definition. At the same time, we only raise so much money to pursue so many legal challenges. So right now we're pursuing those challenges with the most emotional salience, which is protecting every child equally, right? Every child should be equally protected from harm. And violence. And in this instance, that harm and violence is medically unnecessary genital cutting of a minor, right? In a non-religious setting, because that implicates different parts of the Constitution, right? And we're just talking about medically unnecessary non-religious, because that is the vast majority of circumcisions in the United States. And that is how our statutory and constitutional structure works, where we're going to gain the most ground most quickly, the most bang for the buck. Now, if we had $10 million, we'd have 50 lawsuits on the board in different pursuing different legal theories, because circumcision violates so many principles that are well recognized in law, like the right to your own body, to be free from physical invasion from others, to be free to decide what happens to your body, to have sexual autonomy and bodily autonomy, which is read into many state constitutions and the federal constitution. So these principles are long-standing, and circumcision violently violates a huge number of them. But to actually credibly and effectively, challenge these, we need to tailor each lawsuit to the case law in that jurisdiction and to the plaintiffs that we bring, and address the arguments that are brought, deal with the political realities, do social and public organization to show support. So it's a substantial effort, and we're doing a very good job in Oregon, but we'd love to scale it up. And part of scaling this up is scaling up our boots on the ground, scaling up our actual networks. You showing up in downtown Los Angeles to see our new headquarters, to meet with all the other leaders of the movement, and to ensure that we continue to move forward, not just at a linear, but at an exponential rate. And that is very possible. So buy your ticket. If you saw before, we ran through the ticketing service. As Andy Mundy says on Instagram, we in UK have free national health service, no plastic surgery unless essential. Totally agree. That's the case, and that's why you don't circumcise. So as Jake Antoine says, invite Sandra Bullock. She can help spread awareness by severing a baby's foreskin on the spot and rubbing it into her face, right? And it's essentially what she does. So anyway, some other things. RFK talking about how Tylenol is the cause of neurological issues, ignoring the obvious a few months ago. Well, maybe genital mutilation is not helpful to an infant's neurological development, which is obviously true. So that is the spiel for tonight. We got at least 3, maybe 5 more tickets today, and attendees, and maybe a great speaker as well. And so that is, if you have any final questions, let me know. Remember, April 18th and 19th is Intact Global's second conference. And I look forward to seeing many of you there. I hope those of you on the stream can make it. And if you can't make it, well, then I hope that you tell somebody who can, right? Tyler Sundberg, great to see you on Instagram. Chris Colin, is that a real name? I mean, nothing wrong with it, but, Ashley, thank you. RBGB, Ivan, T. Shungu, thank you for joining us. The tickets are available here at this link. So definitely go to intactglobal.org, get your ticket. This is going to be a grand event, right? It's going to be a grand event. I'm telling you, like I only host really excellent events, and this one is going to be from good, great, excellent to grand, right? Like truly, this is, and it's in our new headquarters, which is pretty epic as well. So again, here's the ticket link. If you're watching widescreen, if you're watching vertical, then you'll find it right here. So definitely get your ticket while we still have early bird tickets. I very much look forward to meeting many of you at the conference. It's going to be a very important, just like Intact Global's conference last March in Portland, Oregon. I think it was the largest gathering of Intactivists ever, right? This one's going to be even bigger. It's going to be even grander, even more important. Could be a great opportunity for creating media as well, networking, strategy sessions, fundraising, you name it. Like this is going to be the #1 event in Intactivism that has ever occurred. Now, obviously, we're going to continue to scale, but this is the next step in the movement, and you got to be there if it's important. If it's as important to you as it is to me to protect every child from the overt violence of genital cutting, to protect the human rights of every child, then you got to get your ticket to Intact Global's second conference, April 18th and 19th, 2026 in downtown Los Angeles at Intact Global's new headquarters. So again, thank you all. I will plan to do another live stream tomorrow. Thursday, probably not, but if you have any questions or comments, you can email me at eric@intactglobal.org. And I look forward to seeing many of you at the upcoming conference. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a great night, and we will be in touch soon.